Hey guys, Lenny Reed, Dynamite Diesel. So we have come to the point in time where the blue 98 truck, it's actually 6 of 97 technically. Basically, I'm selling the truck. We've come to the time where it's just sitting around and it's going to rot. So somebody needs to get it out, somebody needs to enjoy it. Green screen behind me is gonna start showing you stuff. Basically, there's a picture of the truck with the canopy, some BF Goodrich all-terrains, decent looking wheels. It's sitting on a 3-inch lift kit from Carly. It is one of their pin top kits. This does not tow like a 3/4 ton truck should tow. The rear springs are soft and it's very sporty to drive and very fun to drive, but not a great tow truck. So if you're looking for a work truck, this isn't the one. Now, there is a photo that we should pop up right now of the truck when I first bought it. And it had little tiny dinky tires and little cheap wheels. It had fresh paint on it at that point. The previous paint did the early Dodge truck thing where it was all flaking off and what have you. So the paint that's on it is good. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not a show truck by any stretch, but it does have nice paint. Now we're gonna take a look at some interior pictures because once I bought the truck, I went ahead and took it over to a friend of mine's and we gutted the interior. So you can see a picture now of the Dynamat and the before and after Dynamat. You can see a picture of the dashboard. So it has a really nice head unit in it. And that is controlled by the amps. Now you can see a picture of the carpet and the speaker box in the rear of the pickup truck. So we've got 3 amps. There's a 2 amps and a crossover in there. Carpet's in great shape. The seats, I would say they're like a 4.75 out of 5. There's nothing worn out or torn. But when I purchased the truck, 13,471 miles on it. And this morning, when I jumped in the truck, it had 32,754. So I've owned this truck for probably the better part of 6 years, I'd guess. And I've driven it 20,000 miles. You know through documentation that we've had compounds, we've had a different motor in it, we've done all sorts of fun stuff. It leaves with the really good transmission and the PCS controlled valve body, but I just took the motor that we just rebuilt for Oldman and Miller's truck with stock pistons and a 215 pump, a single SXE 363, and now green screen can show you what the motor looks like. We've got a bunch of powder coated front cover, powder coated valve covers. We just thermal coated the exhaust manifold. It's got a Banks intake manifold, big old Y looking manifold that we powder coated, airbox, brackets, water pump bracket, all that stuff we did in a candy blue to kind of give it some pop and make it look good. Take a look at some other stuff here. There's a photo of my license plate. And that's not so you can see the license plate, that's actually just above the license plate. You can see that it has a backup camera, and this truck actually has remote start as well. So next picture is gonna be a mirror mount for the radar detector. There's a picture of the Carfax. Story on the Carfax is when the original owner that bought this truck, apparently he bought the truck at like Dishman Micah Ford or Dodge in Spokane. And he lived in Spokane, but he worked in Alaska. So there was years that he would drive this thing with less than 1,000 miles on the oil change. And he would bring it back in once a year annually to get like car tabs, oil changes, things like that, but really didn't have the time to drive a truck. And then when he finally retired, he wanted something newer that actually drove down the road quite a bit better. So he ended up trading in this 2nd gen to Kyle at Alliance. And that truck became like available on his lot, so I bought it. Being a 2nd gen guy, I kind of like him, but unfortunately, like I've got another one that has more sentimental value, so I'm keeping that one and going to sell this one. And here's a picture of the door tag, and as you can see, it was manufactured 6 of 97. So there's another photo of the truck with no canopy on it. So, you know, like it's just come time. It's a good pickup. It's set at over 500 horse, less than 550 horse, kind of depending on the day. Like I said, it's a brand new motor, like it's just freshly rebuilt. It's got good valve springs, good head, good parts and pieces in it. Nothing too crazy or exotic. So if somebody wants to buy something that's just a really fun, sporty truck that's very comfortable to drive with, that's pre-emissions, it's going to be super reliable, this is your truck. Now, the big problem with this truck is as much money as I have into it, paying like close to 40 grand for it when I bought it. And then, you know, I got every bit of 10 or 12 grand into a transmission. I got 10 or 15 grand into a stereo. We got a fresh motor. So this thing stacks up pretty quickly to become a very expensive truck, which is exactly why I just pulled the super fancy motor out of it, because there was nobody that was gonna give me like 100 grand for this truck. But at this point, like, I do wanna see somebody driving it. I'll let it go for about 60. So there you go, there's your number, 60 grand, and somebody can drive this thing away. The only thing I have to do to it right now is I want to get the headliner, because the front couple inches of the headliner are just dry and the glue is kind of cracked out and it's letting the headliner start to fall down. So I'm going to get the truck to an interior shop and have them fix that. And what else was there? There was something else. The tachometer on my way to town today decided to quit working. So I'm going to have the gauge cluster taken out and send that out. This has happened intermittently throughout this truck's life. Like, it'll work for a week and then it would quit working, and then it would work for a month or 3 months. It seems like the more that I drive it, the better the truck responds and works, but it just sits. So instead of letting it just sit and go to rot, she's yours, 60 grand, and somebody come get it. It's time to kick old blue baller down the street, and hopefully somebody can enjoy it and have fun with it. All right, guys, Lenny Reed, I'm out. See ya.